One of the country's leading campaigners against gun violence has been told funding will be cut for her charity, which works with schools in Birmingham. Marcia Shakespeare's daughter, Letitia, was killed by gangsters 14 years ago. It comes at a time of growing gun and knife crime in the city. But today, Police and Crime Commissioner's Office say they're looking at ways of funding more projects. Peter Wilson has this exclusive report.
Marcia Shakespeare was today fighting loss and rejection. In 2003, two Birmingham teenagers, Charlene Ellis and Letitia Shakespeare, were killed by gangsters armed with a machine gun. She stood up to the gangs. She's also taken her anti-violence message into schools. Now she fears the authorities have become complacent, as once again, gun and knife crime is on the rise.
But we can never, ever forget that violent crime doesn't go away. The only thing violence creates is damage to everyone, to the victim as well as the perpetrator.
Last month, she was told that she wouldn't receive funding for part of her work in schools. The email read, "Whilst we value the work carried out by your organisation, we regret to inform you that on this occasion, your application has been unsuccessful."
I have to constantly fight every single year for funding for them to be able to go into schools and organisations. Yes, I am angry.
All these years later, you can still see the marks where the bullets took chunks out of the brickwork. The murders of Letitia Shakespeare and Charlene Ellis made not only Birmingham but the whole country determined to tackle guns and gangs. But does that determination still remain? The Office of the Police and Crime Commissioner hold the purse strings. They say Marcia Shakespeare's rejection was on a technicality and they're determined to deal with the rise in gun and knife crime.
We recognise the good work that she was doing, and we want to work with her to try and make sure that when we launch the new money for gangs and violence in the autumn, that she is able to access that fund. We can't guarantee anything at the moment.
You're not allowed to film a site if you don't get permission, sir.
Our cameras weren't welcome today at St George's Community Hub in Birmingham, even when filming outside its gates. The hub was once home to more than 30 organisations working with young people. The land has been sold off. It was the site of the Peace Garden, the memorial built to remember the two teenage girls killed in a New Year's shooting. Part of the artwork has been put into storage. Marcia was allowed to look at what remains.
Although we discussed and that it was going to be moved, I think coming here today is really hit home to see that the part, what we all placed down as peace, had to be moved. And generally, what always happens, it's always about finances.
Marcia Shakespeare may get renewed funding this autumn, but as she says, she has to fight all the time. Peter Wilson, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.